Network Entertainment.
What becomes clear when we look back on the year that was?
Your progress is the most important thing. Because sometimes we downplay how much we've grown.
Oh, okay.
You only see it when you see the actual tangibles. And it's very important. That's why we encourage that people write things down, document, journal in whatever
Right,
form,
right, right.
even if you do like an audio or video journaling. Whenever you do that, you're documenting, right? And then when you're able to look back, you see talaga that there's a difference. Mindsets, your beliefs,
Right.
and then perspectives in life.
Wow.
So sobrang malalim.
Matitrace yun lahat.
Matitrace mo kasi when you listen to yourself, oh, when I was saying that, saan nanggagaling yun?
Okay. Hi, this is Mirza Season. Welcome to You Can Do This, a podcast that'll help you achieve your dreams and goals one episode at a time. What are you waiting for? Let's go! And just like that, we blinked and the year is over. After the holidays, we find ourselves in the week called the witching week or the nothing week bayan, when there's nothing happening. It's so tempting to just veg out and numb ourselves with leftovers and forget about all the worries and the negative stuff that preoccupied us this year and just move on to the next year, right? But wait, there's more. Before you do that, we have someone with us here today who has always encouraged her customers and community to carve out a little bit of time around this time to do a year-end review and reflect on the highs and lows of the year that was. What for? Because only by doing this can we more effectively use what we learned to plan for the coming year. Please welcome the creator of the famous Belle de Jour planner and other cult favorite journals, notebooks, tools, and products that empower thousands of Filipinos to try, dare, experience, and live. Her motto, helping guide the disempowered to dream-powered. Please welcome the president of Viviamo Inc., Darlyn T. Nilo.
Hi.
Hi, Dar. Welcome back to the show. During the pandemic, we did an episode called Feeling Stuck, How to Move Forward in
Yes.
Uncertain Times.
Correct.
It's episode 35 if you want to check it out. But yay, you're back. So congratulations on, is it 18 years
Yes,
of
18
Viviamo?
years of
Oh my
Viviamo,
gosh.
of
You
Belle
say
de
it
Jour
with
power.
closed eyes and throwing your head back. Is that happiness or fatigue or...
It's a bit of everything. I
All
think
right.
there's a bit of parang pride kasi
Yes, for
being
sure.
able to survive the pandemic, it's still not over. But at the same time, parang there's just a lot of things that we went through. And
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh.
diba, parang
The year
the
that
growth.
everyone said, itapon na yung planner na yan.
yes, starting with that year.
So,
But it was definitely, or it is still definitely like a lot of different levels of growth in terms of ways siguro that we never expected.
Yes. And maybe now there's revenge planning.
Revenge planning, I hope.
In addition to revenge travel, revenge dining, diba? We're back to all our dreams and plans.
Yes.
So what do you think has been in the 18 years of Belle de Jour, the biggest impact on so many women, so many Pinays and Pinoys who bought your planners?
I think the number one thing, it's just a reminder to ask themselves, what do they want?
Tama.
Kasi parang palagi, diba? Parang you just want to go
Right.
through your day,
Right.
parang the month, the bills that you need to pay.
Makaraos lang.
Makaraos lang. Exactly. So at least I'm so happy already with that parang people are starting to ask themselves, what do they want?
Right.
At the very least.
That they have a choice pala.
Yes, correct. Exactly.
Right. So do you yourself do year-end reviews?
Yes.
Okay. Dapat lang. When did you start doing it?
I think siguro, kailan ba?
For those who don't know, the reason why nagka-Belle de Jour is because, well, we'll get into that later.
Okay, sige, sige. Yeah, but essentially, yeah, but starting at that point, I think I was
Right.
doing a lot of like when things are not working,
Oh,
that's the
right.
part, diba? When my part of my story is like when everything crashed and failed. And that's the part like, okay, I need to step back and plan. And every end of the year, I do a year-end review because I want to maximize the coming year.
Right. So, punta na tayo sa crash and fail portion.
Sa crash and fail portion na tayo.
Game.
Crash and fail portion.
So, in 19...
In
2000.
What
Kasi
did
in 19... So, in 2005,
and five.
what happened?
So 2005, I just graduated from UP Diliman. So I had like honors, like marketing awards. We just won for the first time ever, like the competition for UP Diliman. Usually nananalo yung from the other schools. So I was just very proud of it. And then
Competition ng ano?
competition in marketing. So I got like a Dean's Award, some recognition in the school. Ganyan. So I got my pick also of work, like
Yes,
work offers and
jobs.
job offers. And yet at the same time, since I graduated with the business ad and accountancy, there's a lot of pressure to take the board exams.
For
Kasi
accounting.
for accounting.
Okay.
Kasi sayang naman.
Right.
Ilan lang kami nag-graduate. So essentially with me, I guess during that time, I felt like, oh, this is a great opportunity. This is another great opportunity. And so you can get stuck going to our last podcast with two things. One is sobrang daming options. And number two, sobrang kulang or
Okay.
feeling lang ng kulang.
Okay.
So those two things. So during that time, parang madaming options and I felt I needed to take all of them.
Right.
So there was like, internally, I felt like the sense of scarcity na if I don't take it now, baka mawala.
Okay.
Diba? So sometimes we get into that space we're in, opportunity doesn't knock twice.
Right.
And for me, that's one of the biggest lessons at that time in my life. Because like I decided, okay, I'll take the board exams. I'll take this job. And I was doing 14-hour days from
Oh my
Mondays to
gosh.
Fridays.
Right.
And then Saturday, Sunday, 12-hour review
Oh my
classes.
gosh.
So I didn't have a life.
Nilahat mo na.
Nilahat ko na. Kasi parang sabi ko, hindi, sayang, kaya ko yan. So parang, just, diba? So many Filipinos
right.
also like
Yeah.
push themselves to the ground talaga.
Right.
Like parang, hindi, kaya yan, kakayanin, diba? Not really realizing, is this really what I wanted?
Oh.
So it ended up like the board exams, despite like parang studying and all, doing all of those things, I actually was conditional passing. So imagine, parang ang sakit, diba? In my job, my full-time job at that time, I also didn't perform in the standards of the company.
Oh.
So parang sabi sa akin, parang, you should be performing above the standard. So I just performed like one level above. So dapat dalawang levels or
So it
something.
was too much for you to handle.
I think it was too much for me to handle. I agree. Kahit mahirap tanggapin minsan, diba, i-admit that we couldn't handle certain things. But more than that, I think it was just not clear to me why I was doing and living that kind of life.
Wow.
Kasi parang I was walking through the hallways of my job wherein everything was black and white. And that's the reason I joined Summit after. Because
Right.
I was like looking for so much creativity.
Oh.
I was like walking in the hallways of like black and white. My children's artworks. Not my children. When I was a kid, my
Right,
artwork, nilalagay ko sa cubicle ko nung time na yon.
Okay.
So parang it was a cry for help, but I didn't recognize it. But anyway, so that's ano yun. So I didn't get regularized at that time, and medyo mas sakit si ego considering I had multiple job offers during that.
Right.
And then I didn't I didn't pass the boards. And the lesson of almost does not count. Ang sakit,
And
diba?
also, I read somewhere that it's also because you didn't have a paper planner. Tama ba yan?
Yes. So when I was reviewing, so part of the planning, so after everything crashed and failed, I had to step back and look, like what's happening? Diba? What's happening? I can't be like this. I don't want to be a has-been na parang successful lang hanggang college. Just graduate, wala na. And when I looked back, I felt like, oh, maybe it was my time management. So I couldn't accept that I wasn't able to. It's not realistic to handle all of those things. That's number one. Then number two, I looked at what worked. And what worked for me when I was in college was a paper plan.
Right.
So I felt, oh, maybe on an execution level, I needed a paper
Paano mo
planner.
na-trace na yun pala?
Kasi yung nag-work ako, I was just focused on the laptop eh. Diba? It's the first time that,
Yeah.
na nakakuha ako ng laptop that's my own eh.
Right.
So, yun. So
kahit na
naka-laptop
may,
na lang
kahit
ako,
na may
nag-tech na ako.
scheduling sa laptop,
Kahit may scheduling.
ano yung difference dun sa paper?
The big difference is that on the paper, you're in a way forcing yourself to slow down.
Oh, and think.
And think and pause. So hindi ka go ka lang ng go without really thinking about what you're doing.
Right.
So you easily get stuck in the rat race or parang, what do you call that?
Yeah. Yes, the rat race.
The rat race and diba yung sa cage?
A hamster in the wheel.
in the wheel.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was your parang your year-end review
Yes.
that brought about the creation of the product that would create your empire. Kaya tayo mag-year-end review.
Correct. Exactly. Napaka-important nun.
Right. So, how do you use your planners today pagdating sa year-end review?
The planners today, in terms of year-end review, I really ask myself like different sets of questions. And I also look back at what I've done in the past year. So, diba, you have your old planner and then you have your new planner.
Okay.
So, parang the old planner, you see like what has happened, what have you done. And then sometimes I transfer some things that I've written in the old planner in the new planner.
What becomes clear when we look back on the year that was?
Your progress is the most important thing. Kasi sometimes we downplay how much we've grown.
Oh, okay. Like in our mind, wala namang nangyari. Ganito pa rin ako. Parang di naman ako pumayat. Tapos konti pa rin tulog ko. But actually, meron pala.
Meron pala. And you only see it when you see the actual tangibles. And it's very important. That's why we encourage that people write things down, document, journal in whatever form. Even if you do like an audio or video journaling. Whenever you do that, you're documenting, right? And then when you're able to look back, you see talaga that there's a difference.
Like in what aspects, for example?
Mindsets, your beliefs.
Right.
And then perspectives in life.
Wow.
So, sobrang malalim.
Matitrace yun lahat.
Matitrace mo kasi when you listen to yourself, oh, when I was saying that, saan nanggagaling yun?
Okay.
Where is that statement coming from? And sometimes, diba, when you listen to yourself, you can feel pa the hugot. Then you remember.
Okay.
Then, right now, meron pa bang hugot?
Okay.
Wala na.
Tama. So later tuturuan mo kami niyan. But for now, do most Filipinos actually do a year-end review?
I don't know. I feel like in general, we don't.
Right.
It's something that we encourage. That's why inside the planner, we have like certain special pages that we encourage people like, okay, let's stop. Like, why don't you plan year-end? Like, parang review what happened in the past year and then at the same time plan for the next year.
So in my favorite planner that Dar makes, it's called the Everything is Possible Planner. The first few pages is year-end review. And I'm like, oh my God, kailangan pa ba to? And then month per month talaga, like Jan, Feb, March. I'm like, oh my God, I have to look at the old to see what happened talaga.
Correct.
What does this do? Why do you have to be that specific?
Appreciation of yourself and giving yourself gratitude.
Wow.
Kasi how often do you even give yourself gratitude?
Right. Never. We're
Never.
always focusing on what went wrong.
Yes, what went
Uh-uh.
wrong. We forget what went
What are
right.
some things to be grateful for when you look back?
I mentioned progress, right? Number 2 is the experiences that you've had, whether good and bad.
Okay.
Kasi the good, syempre parang it highlights what are the things that are important to you and make you happy.
Right.
The bad naman emphasizes your boundaries.
Oh, okay.
And also goes back to what's important to you. Kaya siya naging
Right.
bad kasi something important to you was also affected.
So for example, ano ang mga usual highs and lows? Of course, it's different for everyone, but
Highs and lows. Highs would generally be like when you get validation,
yes,
acknowledgement,
right,
recognition.
Right. Okay.
Diba? In various forms.
Right.
And recently, yun nga, parang I've come to terms also with that. Parang sabi ko, kasi people downplay the need also to be validated.
Oo nga.
Kasi parang hindi, ego lang yan. I
Are
heard
we-
myself saying that. No, it's my ego that needs this validation. So
Right.
I make it as if it's negative. But then I realized with one of my friends who's a coach, si Andrea C, diba?
Yes, yes.
We were talking about it. Validation is a form of feedback.
Yes.
So it's not an egotistical thing to get validated. You're just wanting feedback.
Right.
So why is it when we ask for validation or when we acknowledge that we need validation, we're not even, we look at it like as if it's an ego thing. Kailangan ng to feel good.
Culturally rin, di ba?
Culturally.
Uy, congrats ha, nalo ka ng ganyan or na-award ka. Wala yun, swerte lang naman kasi ang dali lang naman kasi.
Correct. So the downplaying talaga.
Oo.
And remember, when you downplay yourself, are you actually appreciating yourself or giving yourself gratitude?
Right.
Hindi, diba? So when you look at what you're grateful for and looking at your highs,
Yeah.
then hopefully, umabot ka sa point, then you see, what did you do in that high that made you high or successful?
So do the highs have to be awards or
No.
promotions? What are some highs that we
Highs
might be
can just
overlooking?
be simple things that I spent time with my family.
Okay, important.
Yeah, important stuff. Like, the happiest moment for this year was
Right.
this.
Yeah.
And then you realize, ito pala yung important sa akin.
Kahit small
Diba?
moment.
Kahit small moment. It can even just be a eureka moment when, I was like taking a bath and I was like, parang just being with myself, and then suddenly I thought of a great idea.
Okay.
Diba?
And then for the lows naman, like, pwede bang high yung ano?
yung
Hindi ako pumayat, pero hindi rin ako tumamba.
It depends. Was it intended as a goal or not for the year?
Siyempre, it's always a goal for everyone.
Hindi, but I guess later on we can like ask about that.
Yeah.
Like, how do you keep your
I remember our
goal?
pandemic conversation. Like, di ba nung nagme-milk tea binging?
Correct.
Na parang hindi ako pumayat, pero buhay naman ako. or something
Happy,
like
I feel fulfilled.
the food helped me
Yes.
get through it.
Correct.
But
Exactly.
post-pandemic na.
Post-pandemic
tuloy
na.
pa rin.
Sa akin kasi, parang it's very important to be clear with your intentions.
True.
Because like what happened to me in the past, and it keeps on reiterating in the past 18 years, like every time when I'm not clear, even when I set the goal, the intention and the goal are not exactly the same thing.
Do clarify.
So, kasi the intention is sort of your motive eh.
Oh, okay.
Tapos the goal is sort of the outcome
So,
that you
for
want to
example,
achieve.
lose weight.
You lose
The
weight.
intention is...
So for me, to lose weight is so that I feel like I can carry my kids and I'm not nahingal.
Okay.
Diba?
Strength.
Oo, strength.
Hindi appearance.
Hindi siya appearance.
Okay.
Pero syempre, pag pinipraise ka, it feels good. Diba? But that was very clear to me.
That's the motive. The
That's
intention.
the motive. The intention is the motive. Why am I doing it? And the goal is magpapayat and I lose weight. I did the Spartan this year.
Wow.
So that's one of my highs.
Okay.
It's for the first time.
Right.
I learned so many things. But the why I did it, I wanted it as a gift for myself.
Okay.
That I want to say na parang, I'm 40 and yet I can still do these things.
Okay.
So I want, and it re-emphasized my commitment to take care of my body.
Right. Very clear. So for the lows naman, how do you prevent yourself from getting so depressed by dwelling on the past? Parang yan na naman, low na naman, another year, ganun pa rin.
Interestingly, sometimes when people reflect on the high, nasa sad sila. Kasi hindi na sila sa high moment.
Oo nga.
Pag nag-iisip sila ng low moment, nagiging, parang it's better now. Kasi parang,
okay.
'di ba, parang you're comparing it from your present. Low nga comparing to present. So your present, you are actually uplifted kasi, dandun ako dati sa bababa. Tapos ngayon nandito na ako.
Okay.
So, ironically, it has an opposite effect. And I just experienced it again this week when I facilitated the journaling workshop. So, the low naman, when you think about your low, you also remember again, like, why was this a low point? Probably a lot of confusion, a lot of sadness. Maybe you're grieving about something.
Okay.
And parang for me, like one low point I had was actually just this November.
Right.
Wherein realizing na parang shit, hindi namin magagawa yung certain goals namin for the year.
I think lahat sa November ganyan ang feeling.
Yung feelings. I go,
tapos na yung year.
Oo. Tapos like, parang we work so hard for this whole year and then ito na to. And that parang that realization when it sinks in, parang it's so depressing.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so depressing. But yun nga, again, another friend asked me, are you supposed to be 100% okay all the time?
Eureka moment.
The expectation for us on ourselves na dapat okay ka the whole year. So yun, na-realize ko, it was a low point. And I gave myself permission to be at that low point this November. Tapos I felt better. I was able to shift once I was starting already writing on more planner.
Oh, okay.
For December, na it's like, okay, time to shift.
Okay.
So the low point reminds you of what's important.
Right.
And reminds you of the feelings around it. Why are the feelings important? Because if you hide them under the rug, sweep them under the rug, babalik ka with a vengeance. So it's better that you allow yourself to feel it.
What are some feelings that we like to sweep under the rug?
Anger, frustration, disappointment, diba? Anxiety. We don't like talking about it. But yeah.
Right. Okay.
Dami lahat ng negative.
So what's the best way to do a year-end review? What do we need? Obviously, paper and pen, but then where do you even start, diba?
So what I say, even on the workshops that I do, I'm not a purist, but of course, I'm biased to paper.
Yes.
I'm very biased to paper because it's 7 times more effective versus digital.
And this is scientifically proven, right?
Scientifically proven.
Because of what? The kinetic.
The brain connections that you use. Diba yung mga sinasabi ng tao, bakit ayaw mo magsulat? Na mas nakakapagod. Kasi sa totoo, mas nakakapagod siya. Mas madaming kinoconnect. It's your left brain and right brain working together.
Right.
And trying to form what are the words and what are you writing. And then allowing yourself to really just flow with your
writing.
And kung digital siya,
di ba yun
it's
same
faster.
Lang?
It's faster. Less siya na brain synapses.
Oh, okay. So for paper.
So paper, it's fast. It's 7 times more effective. But again, it's still better to do some sort of planning, even if you do video, audio, typing it out. It's better than 0, diba?
Yeah.
So I still recommend that everybody does it in whatever form they can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a guide, a checklist of 5 questions.
5 questions
that will help you Do a better year-end review. Okay, game.
So one is what we tackled earlier. What are the 3 to 5 things you're grateful for this year?
Right.
So,
Grateful lang. Okay.
Grateful. So, essentially, parang kumari, if you're gonna remember this year by, ano yun? Na parang, this year I was able to travel again.
Right,
after
right,
X
right.
numbers of
Okay.
years in the pandemic.
What does gratitude do?
Lift energy, positivity, tapos it also helps in terms of, 'di ba yung mind setting mo when you're when you talk about gratitude, whatever you focus on expands. So it attracts a bit more. That's why they say the key to manifestation is also gratitude. So it just helps you live happier.
Okay.
Kasi parang it has a direct correlation in terms of how happy you are at the present.
Okay. Okay, next.
What are 5 main things that are important to you to keep you feeling happy and loving your life?
Wow. Like for you, ano yun?
So sa akin, in terms of my work, what I really like is exploring new ideas. That's why we have the vision board this year. Because that's one of the...
Or later.
That's one of the new things that we introduced this year. Even the Omni pages. So during the pandemic,
go ahead.
But the format actually drastically changed compared to the previous year. Kasi ngayon, mas modular na siya.
We have a vision board.
The modular setup here allows you to choose like which kind of planner you want. If it's dated, undated, you can have your notebook. And then we've added like an upgrade that you can choose like content-related dream empowerment
Honor your
journals.
progress.
Yeah.
Ayan.
So, parang it's a new format that we thought of this year. So, that excited me. So, definitely...
Can I see the others?
Definitely, this is one of the things for
honor your
me.
progress. Be your best self. Embrace the gift of today.
Yes.
Journey your love. Live with intention. Ako, madami tayong gagawin.
And the reason we made this is that there are a lot of Bellas or a lot of people were asking us, I don't really know how to journal. I don't know how to start. So this is like guided prompts and there's a lot of frameworks. So taking care of yourself is productive.
Right.
So there's nurturing self-love, like a lot of content here that we really thought about. Like here, the map of you.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Your values, your strengths, your passion.
Right. Okay.
So it's really about self-discovery. So about finding out the 5 main things that are important to you, that you're happy and so that you feel happy and that you're loving your life. It's just good to identify what that
snacks.
is. Yeah, snacks. Kasi parang sa akin that's one, diba? That I'm creating new things.
Yes.
That's important to me intrinsically. But number 2, I also love being able to spend time with my kids.
Okay.
And my husband.
So creativity, kids and husband.
Kids and husband. Time with friends.
Time with friends.
And then yung number 4 is really that I'm able to, may space ako to think.
Okay.
Like the me time.
Me time.
Yeah. Whenever I lose that, parang it feels like I'm not living my life.
Right. And what's the 5th?
5th one that I realized this year is the exercise.
Oh, okay.
I mean, some semblance, parang commitment to body talaga.
Right.
So yun.
And looking back on the year will help you think of these.
Yes.
So you can see saan ka nagkulang, ganyan.
Kung saan ka naging masaya.
Okay.
Masaya pa.
Siyempre yung kulang, yung lack talaga yung pinofocus.
Hindi, pero yung lack kasi, that's why the questions are a bit more positive kasi that's really how our brain works. So we're countering how our brain works with gratitude, with what makes us happy.
What if exercise does not make them happy?
Then don't do the exercise. Do the exercise.
Or maybe think about how the aftermath of exercise makes you happy. Or hindi rin.
Hindi din eh.
Okay.
I think it's real. There has to be like a deep reason or the hugot nga behind the goal or the intention. Kasi that's why parang even if we have the same goal, it might not mean the same. Parang it does not mean the same thing to us.
Okay, number 3.
Number 3. So ito na, yung looking back. If you look back at where you are right now, when was the time you were 10x worse than you are right now? So,
within the year or kahit
no, in
before?
the past. In the past talaga. So ito, going
10
back.
times ha? Wow.
10 times. So kung wari, for example, your monthly salary right now is, let's say, 50,000 pesos.
Right.
10x worse is 5,000.
Okay.
So, kailan yung time na yung monthly salary mo, 5,000 pesos?
Okay.
You pinpoint.
And then?
The estimate of that is roughly 10 years
Ago.
Okay. In your life. But sometimes, some people magaling, 5 years ago lang, naka 10x na ng life nila.
Okay.
So, if you imagine, 5 years or 10 years ago, you were 10 times worse.
Right.
Right? And at that point, you look at, ano ba yung mindset mo yung time na yun?
Oh, okay.
And then, how did you get to where you are today?
Right. Okay.
Because that gain from that past to the present, so it's a book, Gaps and the Gains, will help you do your next 10x jump.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes. So, for example, I'm earning 500,000 a year.
Okay.
Tapos umabot ka ng 5 million. When you were earning 500,000, could you have imagined that you're gonna earn 5 million? Parang hindi, diba? It's hard.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you've done it in the past.
Right. So you extrapolate.
You extrapolate and then project it. Yeah.
Okay. Paano kung walang nagbagong mindset? Tumanda ka lang.
Meron yun. Hindi kasi kaya ka naka 10x kasi may nagbago eh.
Tumanda ka lang, tapos lumaki yung sweldo mo. Hindi, imposible.
Parang hindi ka 10x, 10% lang per year. Parang incremental growth lang siya.
Okay.
So the data is average is 10 years. So if you're longer than 10 years, don't feel bad naman.
Right.
Baka it's really like there was a pandemic, there were so many things that happened in the past 10 years, right? So, but just figure it out.
Okay.
And also maybe it's a time to also reflect, were you intentional? Kasi maybe you kept saying to yourself na hanggang dito lang ako, number 1, a toxic mindset, or number 2, hanggang dito lang yung kaya ko.
Right.
So if you keep on telling yourself that, do you actually think you'll grow? And the universe affirms us with our beliefs So if your belief is hanggang dito lang ako, sige, I will give you situations to reinforce that belief.
So you have to ask.
Where is it coming from?
Right.
That's why the reflections, guys.
Okay, next.
Number 4, what do you think are things stopping you to get what you want right now?
Snacks. Joke.
Right now, to get motivated, I need milk tea or something.
Right,
whatever it is. Right?
Bawa love life. Bawa wala siyang love life. Ano yung 10x worse? Toxic yung love life.
Toxic yung love life.
At least ngayon,
you had an
toxic,
experience.
Diba? At least ngayon, okay. Diba?
Oo.
Pero
or you
gusto
meron
mo.
kang experience of love.
Okay.
Kasi the 10x can just also be the experience and the lessons. For example, 10 years ago, no boyfriend, no relationship. Tapos, ngayon, you're probably in time, broken relationship.
Okay.
Sige, diba? 10 years, diba? Possible kasi mahaba yung 10 years, right? So, but how have you grown from that person before? Diba? Na in a relationship, you've experienced
you learned
love.
A lot.
And
you
got hurt. Diba? How do you see the world right now?
Right.
How do you see your relationships? How do you see yourself?
Right.
Like, I have a friend na parang, na-realize niya pala, in that relationship, parang she was just saying yes because she wanted to have a relationship and she was just
for the sake of
a relationship. And hindi niya na nakalala sarili niya after.
Okay.
So she had to like relearn who am I again after the relationship. So that's the 10x.
Right.
My greater awareness.
So what are the things usually that stop people from getting what they want?
Limiting beliefs.
Limiting beliefs. Like hanggang dito na lang
hanggang
ako.
dito na lang ako. Or wala akong time.
Okay.
Wala akong time is a limiting belief. It's important enough, you will make time.
Right.
If you are committed enough, you're clear that you really, really want it, you will make time.
And if you time block it in a planner,
then there is more emphasis. Kasi parang yung there's a quote also that I like. What's not on paper is vapor.
Wow, I love
cute,
that.
Diba?
What's not on paper is vapor. Tama.
Diba?
Uh-uh.
So it's not tangible. And then you expect it to become tangible.
Right.
So
right.
whatever goals, ideas you have in your
Right.
head, you don't put it in something tangible and then you get mad at yourself that you don't bring it to life.
Right.
Diba? Parang,
Like a lot of working moms, and you're a working mom who
Mhm.
makes things possible. They say, I wish I could do that, but wala akong time.
I've said that many times and I get it.
Yeah.
I get it in a real way
I'm
because
sure.
kasi wala rin kaming helper ngayon. And we're trying to make things work. But I've learned in the past 2 years talaga, if you really want something, parang you make some puzzle pieces adjust
Right.
in your life to make it work.
Like, for example, how did you achieve that? What did you say? What
Exercise,
your
Spartan. The Spartan,
How did you even carve out the time to train?
I got support. I'm privileged enough to get a trainer, but technically, pwede ka naman maglakad and go up the stairs.
Right.
I live in a condo. But the trainer was able to help me do little things and realize things about my body that I didn't know.
Okay.
That parang, pwede ko pala itong gawin. And per yun, hindi rin ako as regular. Kasi aside from, obviously, it adds to the cost, right? But parang having a group of friends also na, okay, this is our goal because we really want to do this. We want to like look better and so on.
Where did you find the time?
The time,
with all the kids?
Writing it down talaga.
Okay.
Like sa akin, I found that my ideal in my head is that I exercise in the morning. But in reality, when I was trying to execute it, it worked better for me to work out when the kids are asleep.
Oh, okay.
So the kids are asleep at by 8. So mga 8:30 or 9
Okay.
9 to 10 ako nag-work out.
So which brings us to support, number 5.
Number 5 question is, what support systems do you think you can set up to help you be consistent?
Like a trainer.
Like a trainer,
what else?
your parang accountability group, right? To do certain things. You can start as small as like 5-minute exercises. Diba? So, okay, basta every day. The challenge is sometimes we get, this is another belief that we need to be perfect. So, hindi ko na perfect. So, ayoko na siya gawin tomorrow.
Oo nga.
So, the goal is consistency.
Right.
So, that's why the support system that you ask yourself, what support do I need to be consistent?
Okay. Consistency, not perfection.
Consistency, not
and support
perfection.
from, your partner in the housework. Diba? Not just think na ako lang lahat.
Correct. Involve your partner, have hopefully good conversations. If not your partner, I know not everyone's lucky enough. Ask support from your friends, your family, in small ways. Kasi sometimes yun nga uy, kulitin mo naman ako na mag-exercise or samahan mo ako mag-exercise na I don't know, messenger call tayo or something. Let's just do it together.
Right. Parang no na hindi mo gagawin on your own. So kailangan may magkukulit.
Correct. And I think and my exercise started with a group of friends that we started boxing together.
Okay.
So parang it started there. Na parang,
so you hit two birds with one stone.
Yeah, and I felt good after na parang the adrenaline, the endorphins, diba?
Imbis na lumamon na naman every time makikita.
Nag-exercise kami. Tapos high protein to keep the muscles.
Okay, so if there's one takeaway, like a mantra or a mindset that our followers can take away from our chat on a year-end review, what would that be for you?
For me, is to acknowledge how far you've gone. Kasi a lot of times, and I do this to myself a lot of times as well. So it's really a good reminder. And I think it's just this year that I'm grasping this lesson.
Right.
Kasi parang, I always I look at, ang dami ko pa kasi kailangan gawin eh.
Oo nga.
Ang dami ko pang goals, hindi ko nagagawa.
Tama.
So parang, I don't acknowledge how far I've gone.
Right.
Because I keep on looking forward and saying, shit, ang dami pa. But But the thing is, I've gone so far.
Right.
And the year-end review is to appreciate yourself.
Right. Appreciate what you check, not just what you still need to check.
Correct. What you've gone through the whole year.
Right.
Even sometimes, if you had the checklist and you had not checked anything there in your list, it's noticing I did a diversion or like I made a left turn, and it might be a very valid reason why you did not push through with your checklist at the start of the year.
Right.
It might be even an indicator of a life shift.
Right. Maybe something happened. Or...
and you change. And
Yeah.
that's perfectly okay. So it's acknowledging, oh my gosh, I grew and that's why I shifted.
Right.
And then I realized that checklist I made in January, it's not anymore what I want to do.
Right.
And that's actually a great thing. It's a good thing to realize and congratulate yourself for and celebrate yourself for.
That's not what I wanted pala. So you can recalibrate.
Yeah, you can recalibrate and move towards what you want already.
Right. And all this is only possible if you look back. So make sure that you tune into the next episode where we will look forward.
Yes.
All right. See you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to You Can Do This. If you want to know more about me, visit Myrza.com. That's MYRZA.com. And follow me at Myrza Season on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and LinkedIn. If you like this episode, please don't forget to rate it 5 stars. Hit the follow button on your podcast streaming platforms and hit the notification bell to get alerted every time we release a new episode. Catch you at our next convo, and always remember, you can do this.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.